Thoughts on IWM? Looks like, or Nvidia looks like IWM. I think this is a great candidate to move. Oh my God, Hegseth is talking right now. Yeah, I think Nvidia maybe today. Um, yeah, I could see how you could say that looks like IWM. Maybe today we get a move, but it has the consolidation, period, point blank, end of story, that we need to know that a move is likely going to come. It's in that average amount of time. Again, this is some shit that most people just don't do. That somehow, well, not somehow, but has led us to catch some phenomenal trades. So you are nearing that kind of end of consolidation phase. You've got a box underneath you, and you're holding cost basis. That cost basis will be 198.60. And so this is a read and react scenario, my friend, right? You don't necessarily have to have the right bias. You are in an uptrend, so it's important to have the right bias in that sense, but you don't have to, like, if this thing was to pull back, you could have a trigger for that, obviously, underneath 197.82 here, or for NVIDIA, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit further, and this would be what I would do if I wanted to take NVIDIA today. I would be utilizing that box. Why is this damn chart so fucking small? I need to fix this so the chart looks better. But I don't want to make it super tiny. There we go. There we go. Stock at Harry Potter. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I would be utilizing 201.75. You've got empty space up to 202.45. You got a great box up ahead. I would just be, dude. This is when my toes start tickling, dude. This shit tickles my toes because this is so clear to me. It's just, and it gives me this sense of calm because I know the space that I'm navigating in is clear. 202.50 outside of 203, and that sort of close or break would, yes, potentially lead Nvidia to trying to push more than likely into all-time highs. So you are building, again, above and below both the break and support point. So PG slap target on ER this morning. Did I call that last night? Can't make this shit up, my boy. I mean, you could make it up, but why would you? Not bad. Yeah, that was a pretty good target. What's up? On who? Hold on a second. Yeah, I did not take. I just put that on my watch list. I, I haven't. I'm gonna ask you. What do you think first? Tell me what you think first on this chart, based on the targets that I have. So, like, let's say I want to get to a 230, 233 target. What type of expiration would I need at this exact moment if I was going to take this trade? No. So you've got a lower time frame box to break out of, and overhead resistance, and first green candle to your left, and the imbalance, and the floor. I would be out at least a month. Well, sometimes we got to use a little bit of like, like, okay, First Solar obviously is a grinder, right? Sometimes it takes its time getting where it needs to go. It also moves quite well and squeezes, and I'm actually looking at it to hopefully move something like this, right? Where it doesn't add. Well, here's the thing: if we're taking this on earnings, which this is a familiar territory for earnings, then yeah, you could take maybe a shorter expiration. But if you're taking this just purely off of the chart, looking for that target, you gotta have at least a month or more. And it's not like there is the science, again, we're looking at what resistances are above me. But we also don't want to say, okay, well, you have this box, so let's add a week here, 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 right? So that's 4 weeks. Well, you're now giving yourself exactly the amount of time, right? That maybe it would take to get there, but maybe we add another week so that way when it does get there, we're not out of expiration. And on something like this, more time is just better insurance. So, and I'm not super familiar with the First Solar trading First Solar, but I see holes in this chart that all of that is empty space. So then it would just really leave, this overhead resistance, and then we've got a gap up there. So there's a multi-stage potential breakout on this coming out of this base. But if we're looking to get to this overhead resistance without having already being outside of 203.30, we need more time. So a month and a half, a month, basically 5-6 weeks would be a proper target based, maybe a little bit shorter contract. So why? Yeah, you got that, my boy. Yeah, it does have ER. It does have earnings, and that may obviously for a good setup that may complicate things because this thing doesn't have one thing that helps aid the trade. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Is when I have a clear trend. And one thing I can say for absolutely fucking certain is that First Solar doesn't, at least now. We could call it an uptrend, based on maybe like the weekly or something like that, but it's very much in a wide weekly flat range. So kind of this very easily, right, could try to go and flop. So it might be an after earnings things, to be able to catch that what looks to be a relatively uh short amount of empty space. So am I taking a trade on First Solar? If First Solar triggers, then maybe. Well, yes. I mean, if First Solar triggers, then yes, I will likely take a trade on it. Um, yeah. I mean, but it hasn't yet. I do prefer I do prefer when there is nothing in the way. And, one could be, I think what I'm looking at is like, okay, you got this big wick here, multiple rejections overhead, and then price gets pulled back in and then down to that floor where, you would be suspecting that price would more than likely fall. It curls right back up again. And that usually is where you can put, you got a chokehold on sellers and you can squeeze them out. So, but sellers could be still in, I mean, they could be still working this thing out. 1 second. Yeah, let there be light. Hey, yo, Ivan. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Celsius was another one. I mean, today I'm watching Celsius. This one's a more right now trade. Yesterday I was talking about, I don't know if anybody grabbed it, but I'm a daily trader, but beginner on your channel. Where can I learn about your defined triggers? You can go to my YouTube channel, or you can take the Potterbox workshop, which has everything about my strategy all in one, and pre-recorded videos that you can watch at your leisure. And right now, I added for the workshop that we have. That's just the workshop with no Discord. I added 2 months for those people who do take it. So you'll get 2 months inside of the Discord that you can unmute your mic and speak. All right. Good job, Bunky. Good morning, man. Have fun listening while working. Having fun listening. Been staying away from the whipsaws. Let's go. Let's go. That's beautiful. I mean, yeah. I that makes me happy that somebody, I mean, being able to stay away from the chop, that takes away literally half of the things that people struggle with. What? Why is my music keeps pausing, bro? Shit's fucking driving me nuts. All right. That's a struggle of mine. You know, in regular life, if I came up to you after this last 2 weeks, right, we're working your regular job, and I handed you 5 grand, or I handed you 8 grand, right, you'd be stoked. There'd be bills to pay, there'd be money, things to go buy, maybe want to go, get an Xbox or some shoes, or, or you want to reinvest it, whatever. For most people without knowledge of how this money works, because this ruins the concept of money for people, which then makes it this, you know, the idea of infinite kind of like comes into the table where people literally think that the more you expose yourself to the market, right, the higher the probability is that you're going to hit something big. And a lot of people stay in front of their computers for that sole purpose alone because they feel like they're going to fucking miss something. And by the time they get exhausted, or they've already exhausted, blown their accounts, then something big happens, and then they find a way to reattach themselves to the market till they totally exhaust themselves completely, and they say the market is a scam, and they give up. But I really do feel that a nonchalant, like, even if you don't mean it, even if you don't feel it, even if you just pretend that you don't give a shit, it's just not that big of a deal. This is just how I make my money, right? I make my money and I dip. The more nonchalant like I am, and I'm not saying that like you're not caring, like you're putting your foot on the gas to learn a strategy, you're spending a lot of time watching price action, like show up. But once you get a handle on things and you're making money, you cannot be this greedy, excited, over enthusiastic individual who is trying to constantly scrape money out of every opportunity that they think they see. Like hyper focus, on great setups. When those setups are done, and I've done, this is just me, after we're closing in, on 10 years probably, soon, um of trading, and it's like I'm getting to the point now where I make these large lump sums of cash, and then I kind of fuck around. I'll like day trade, or I'll, speculate here and there, but I'm laid back and I'm looking for like Celsius. Now my ears peak up and I'm back in the game, and I'm like, okay, it's time to work. It's time to focus. It's time to, like, this is a real opportunity where I can put, and again, I don't tell people what I get into, but like, or how much, or, I'll tell you guys, if I'm trimming and stuff, but these are this type of setups that I try to hit hard and I try to scale into, so that way my job is done and that way I do make my money. Not to say that's, again, I'm not full porting, I'm still using good risk, but I'm using my risk. And then when I'm done, to me, if I pull 20, 30,000 dollars out of one or two trades, or even if it was 10 grand, that's still a butt fuck ton of money. And I had to do not a whole lot, to get it done. Especially with a repeatable strategy that I've been, rinse and repeating now for year after year. The hard part is the entry, finding the play, you know, picking our contracts, all of that effort. But once the trade starts taking off, it's moving in my direction, and I start trimming. After that, I'm pulling back, And I'm looking for that same thing. I'm looking, and I had to, again, I haven't always been like this. When I found my strategy and I started seeing boxes everywhere, where do you think I was? Everywhere, all the time. And I realized how much of a mistake that was, that even though I had a great strategy, I still was spreading myself thin and shotgun blasting. And it kept, the good thing is I have a good strategy. So like a lot of, some of these plays would take off, but it kept me at a neutral, like flat level because I'm constantly burning on shit that isn't triggering or front running this and not really focusing on taking good entries. So, hello. Hi, pretty girl. I like your collar. It's a cool shirt. It matches. That's adorable. Orange, purple, and green, right? Oh my god. Uh-huh. I love you. Have a great day. Friday. What do you want to do when you get home from school? You want to go to the park? Do you think they got that thing built yet? Are you serious? Well, we have a couple things to do after school, and then maybe. They're having a fashion show. Huh. Okay. Oh, dude, thank you for the gifts, man. I made over 30K a week. Scammer. It's 823. Yeah. Do you have tips for someone getting into trading? Be chill. Focus on strategy first. Focus on and I'm not saying hyper focus on me. In fact, I trust my strategy so much. I encourage you to go and watch other creators and see if they're doing anything remotely close to what I'm doing, or if they're able to narrate and pick out and point out targets with clarity the way that I'm able to do, or even I would not even, but as other people inside of my Discord. So, I put the strategy to the test, but you should do that for everybody. So if you're following me, put it to the test. But if you're also following somebody else, you should be stress testing everybody that you're watching. But once you've picked a good strategy, or a strategy that you think fits, your understanding, you like, um, what it has to offer, that's your focus. Because before you get any job, you got to go to school. Before you become a doctor, you got to go to school. You have to put in the work to be able to know how to do it, or you are going to fuck. I mean, think about it. If you were a doctor and somehow like you paid your way to like halfway through, school, to just screw off, and you don't have to finish. And then when it comes time to do surgery on somebody, you're like, uh, and then you fuck their shit up, and then your career is over. I think of it kind of in the same way with trading. If you get started, it's good to experiment and to do it with very low risk and have an understanding that you're doing it for learning, right? That's different. But if you go into it and you're like, oh man, these people are making a fuck ton of money, I'm gonna jump right in, I'm gonna slap this super hard, I'm about to follow these people in there. Uh, a This is a great way to burn your account. But B, you're making mistakes that are actually going to, in a way, traumatize you, or become, those mistakes are going to become rules that you follow later on, when those rules were just simply, or those mistakes were made simply because of a lack of knowledge or lack of awareness of what and where you're navigating in the market. So it's like the mistakes you make when you're unknowledgeable. I mean, this is our 20s, right? But like, end up being the reasons that we struggle later on. So the wise person will take their time, have a great understanding of what's going on, not take shortcuts. And then when the time is right, they load up an account with a small amount of money, and they start not, I don't want to say experimenting as if it doesn't work, but you want to test it out. You want to actually test what you've learned out. You have the tools now. I've given you them. You actually have to start using them. That's when you start to develop, and you can see this in all of the seniors or OGs in the Discord. These individuals have those skills and they're back. So when I'm not here, they're able to navigate the market by themselves or make decisions on their own. Um, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you're just getting started, what you do now is very, very important. So don't jump into anything based off of just pure emotion, but actual, like, okay, this fits what I'm looking to accomplish, or this makes sense to me. Um, so yeah. Can me have tool, Mr. Potter? Me want tools? Tools me like? Me lose 20K last year? Me sad trader? That's fucking hilarious. All right, for Celsius, that was great. Um, Celsius, are you looking for a trigger of the 30-minute candle close? I would like to see on a lower time frame. This is going to play out much differently. On a lower time frame, I need Celsius to punch back, which is a 35-30 mark. Not only that, you'll have overhead structure here as well, which doesn't chalk up to a box, which does chalk up to a range, and that would be $36 right here. At that point, we would also be looking at this trend that we're holding, correct? And that $36 break. So yeah, I mean this. Oh boy, this shit looks fucking done and dusted and out of this world. But yeah, there's a multi-stage process, and so you teach what to look for. My entire goal is to help create independent traders because I know that inevitably there is no way that you can be inside of the stock market and not start learning about it. It's impossible. So to follow somebody blindly, which is the only way to take signals, because you cannot have the variable of pieces of knowledge being what fucks. Like, you take a signal from me, but you know that about a bull flag, or you know about a bear flag, right? And you don't know a lot else, but you know about those things. All of a sudden, price pulls back and it makes a bear flag. I'm still in. Every trade's still going well. I'm not even looking at that bear flag, but now you are. And now you decided to get out because you decide that's a bearish pattern. And this is how most signal callers, again, not all of them, but 99% of them uh, are going to teach you while also telling you what to buy. These are contradictory things because you're either teaching somebody how to buy and what to buy, which is the version of what I'm doing, which is like I'm walking you through why I like it, where I like it, what the whole entire goal of it is, where the lower time frame entries could be, contract selection. Like, these are things that I'm walking through. So not only you have to have an understanding of what I'm doing, but I ultimately know that everybody hits the same wall with signals. I've never met a human being on this earth, other than the ones that have just taken a signal and, let's say it was a squeeze or GameStop, and they made, some redonkulous amount of money and then they just walk away. But how many people, I think it was like something crazy, like 80% or 90% of the GameStop money that was made is gone. These people have lost all of their money. So anyway, I digress. Yeah, if you join or if you're following me, it's because you know this and you want to do it on your own. So you are indeed unique. Your coaching is definitely worth the money. Oh, gang, thanks, Matt. It's If you really trade, it's hard to trust. If you really trade, it's hard to trust. What do you mean by that? All right. So real quick, it's 8:30 on the diddly dot. So let's go ahead and start looking at our ETFs here this morning. And the Qs are ripping ass with every chip company in the world fucking flying into all-time highs. You know what? I actually haven't looked at what is TSM doing? Bat gap up. That's probably a gap and go scenario there. Open up. I just thought about that for a second because I was thinking about all the semiconductor companies in the world. But QQQ is up at the highs, so if you swung, nice. If you didn't, this is just not my cup of tea. Again, I do not trade at all-time highs. I can trade reversals at all-time highs. Those I'm pretty good at. And anything back underneath or sucked into the 650, 620, 72 and maybe punching back down, I'll be taking a trade. But if you're looking at the Qs today, you're going to be on the lower time frames, utilizing the lower time frame structure, which honestly, that shit's lacking too. You do have a pre-market floor of 659.85. I'm sure that will be useful. Me think you're handsome. Oh my God. Justin, you're wild. Me watch you every morning before every day. Me trade penny stock and me lose. Bro, this dude's talking fucking ridiculous. All right, IWM is another ETF that we were talking about yesterday, and I talked about that whip back up and that nay potentially to 270, 650. Well, that happened. You popped up, you held, and we've already this is the fucking diabolical shit is it did already hit 277.81, and that is break point. That is where I am looking for price to rip ass up to 270. I swear to God, if my music stops one more time, how and why does it keep stopping? I'm gonna lose it. What is it? Start a private session. I don't fucking get it. Anyway, me happy made you giggle. Weekend have good one. What company would you recommend to go with for live trading? What company would I recommend that you go with for live trading for like signals? If I'm not sure what you're asking. All right, so for IWM, anyway, I'm going to be looking at this one, possibly to hold that same floor that we were able to recover in pre-market, which would be 276.39. If not, I mean, this has the perfect ability with this pre-market or after hours box right here to potentially pinch us or keep us chopped up. But ultimately, there is, don't forget this, there is a good trade up to 279, right? That's if you're looking at IWM, that's what I'm looking for. So any sort of reversal or move to the downside, again, zooming back out here, three rejections off the top. If we really do end up melting down, it's going to be 274.48 on the 2 hour, and on the 1 hour, that level pretty much holds strong. That's where we could actually, since we have already wicked down there and filled those orders, I don't think there's going to be a lot of orders left, and I think you could end up getting to 270. So yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, I'd like to see that empty space filled up and if anything wicked off of, you know what I mean? Not just because I have a position. So on your graph, where are you putting each box? Around the areas of consolidation, right? So like in on the 1 hour right here, looking at like points of contact. So I'm looking for areas inside of the box, like at the top right here, where there's multiple points of contact, and here, right? You can see price holds off cost basis right there, and I'm looking to do the same thing here. Each one of these boxes has that trigger at cost basis, which I utilize for new highs or new lows. All right, so I'll be watching IWM. We'll see. Listen, it's locked up in a fucking box, and now is the time where I am speculating. I will scale in. Oh, this you don't have to do what I do, but this is how I'm staying safe. I will scale in on breaks of structure, break of box, right? When we are leaving, I don't mind scaling in. But everything, I swung a low risk position inside of this box, looking for the break of said box up to A, the top, or B, maybe possibly down lower. And I'm exploring that notion, obviously, today. But if it has to be a breakout for me to add to this trade, otherwise I may swing over the weekend. Okay, because we just spent all week consolidating. I may swing over the weekend something speculative as well. And again, this is all low risk for me on these ETFs. Um, but I like the concept of having again that time and date range where price is going to move more than likely either today or next week. So If you were to trade Celsius, could you give me an example of what your option would look like? Well, newsflash, I am trading Celsius. So you're in luck, brother. Right now, if you are looking for the ultimate target of $40, like I am, there's likely going to be 3 weeks of expiration on this trade. You could go out a month if you want, just to kind of keep it clean. And there's also multiple. So this is one of those cake setups, right? I might start calling it that. I might pin that. But this is where I'm going to layer, right? I'm going to actually layer expiration. So there is shorter expiration option contract opportunities within this range, right? And I'm sure there's likely going to be other. I'm not really in the mood for losing my religion right now. If you guys are on Discord, I'm not playing music on YouTube. I'm on Spotify, so you can join my listening party. But otherwise, I'm sorry for the no music. Um, when I scale in, do you buy the same contracts? No, I'm typically buying, you know, further out contracts. No, I don't usually add to. I'll add to a position with a different strike. I don't necessarily like buying the same contract or strike unless it's gotten cheaper and I still see it as a viable play, which you call it averaging down. That's what it is, but rogie. It's usually somewhere around 30 to 40. Do I still like Walmart? Oh fuck, I gotta go to Walmart today. Thank you for reminding me. Real quick, I just want to shout out Alex. I appreciate you showing up this week, man. And putting in all the work, bro. I really do. Thank you for setting up all the streams and stuff. We are greatly appreciated, my brother. Um, yeah, W Alex, man. Yeah, no, seriously, you guys are irreplaceable because I had people joining and they're like, I had somebody get the workshop on Friday. I think it was like Saturday night, or maybe it was no Saturday afternoon. I was like still trying to get people all situated. So, but nah, you guys are the goats. Um, yeah, they keep the Discord running, man. Y'all fuck with solar, right? Yeah, LOL when it's working was a wash trade. Losers canceled winners. Fuck. Okay. Thanks, Alex. Potter's going through it. Yeah. Yeah, it was. All right. So let's all right, IWM Spy. Honestly, I feel is anybody else's toes tickling right now? Anybody feeling I'm feeling some type of way right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it's kind of fucking wild because oh dude, I'm actually geeked out right now. I don't know why. This might be autism for real. Bro, do you guys see these candles? Like the range is perfect on like tap 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 tap. Like you hardly ever get anything like that. But I don't know. There's got to be autism. That shit just that's like my Tonka truck. You know what I mean? Like don't touch my fucking. But this fucking this is my choo choo train, dude. Um. Anyway, obviously sitting up at the highs, offering a new price. We want to see buyers accept it like the Qs. This could be obviously an area where price extends and we have oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind. I might have to trade SPY today. Which I never do, but I might have to because I mean and not only that, I don't trade into all-time highs either, but I might have to. Either way, this is exhaustion on either side. You've got perfect taps, perfect taps. You've got 4 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So I would have no problem if this thing popped out and got sucked back in on shorting the ever living dog shit out of it. Uh, More than likely to $700 flat. He said between Apple and Spy, are you good, G? I'm just losing my fucking mind, man. I'm just kidding. Um, I mean, I listen, time and date range, obviously, I'm going to respond. I would like to see these things happen today, but because we are locked in these ranges, if you do take that position, if this did pop out and say pop, it gets stuck here, you could sit on a Friday. Although I'll give it credit, the ETFs have chopped all the way till Friday, so there could be some speculative money to be made. Um, but it could get stuck, and they ultimately might pin this fucker until literally over the weekend when they know there's likely going to be news because they extended, what did they extend the ceasefire a couple of days? But they're already, missiles are already flying as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, there's like drones up in the air, shit's already popping off. Um, Indefinite. Wait, hold on. Indefinitely for two. What? Kremlin says Putin may travel to Miami. Miami. What's happening? South Beach is gonna be lit. He was big and strong in his. I don't know. Every time I think of Russians, I think of that song. Uh, oh yeah, forgot the lyrics to it, but yeah, yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm just kidding. Finish the song. He was big and strong, and his mouth was, or something was his mouth. I don't know. I'm gonna stop there. All right. See, that's inappropriate. Get it together. All right. Yeah. Now he's got it. All right. So anyway, I like the S&P and IWM out of all the ETFs today. Sign me up. And I mean today is like I do think that there's a possibility that we break. I'm gonna wait for those triggers, but if not, the weekend will be delicious. So don't get caught up and do not get stuck in these flat fucking areas of price action. If you notice that price is getting extremely consolidated at some point, maybe midday, we might have news around the corner and we could see this setup break. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. It's 8:44. And I know a couple of you guys were talking about. I'll go over it. Oh, fuck off. I'll go over Celsius really quickly since some people are just hopping on here. So last night or yesterday, and this is just the start, so longer expirations if you're fucking around. But Celsius did make an attempt to go and grab the floor. Obviously, popping at the end of the day, has been able to successfully be on top of it at 33.82. Now, there could be a lower time frame trade up, and I'm going to be watching this one today as well. Cranberries right now. Let's go, dude. 34.46 is where I'd like to see price possibly reach over for a move up into the 34.92s and maybe, if we're lucky, a gap fill. But Celsius does have this really nice down channel right here with a pocket of empty space. So we're looking for a channel break, but more importantly, we're looking for a 24-hour punchback to the upside. This is, yeah, here comes the autism again. I fucking am so thrilled. I cannot even begin to explain it to you on how the majority of the setups that we have taken, and especially the ones that have fucking been fire, have looked exactly or something very, very close to this. I mean, UPS, box, punch, empty space, Nike, right? Box, punch, empty space, quarter fill, PayPal, right? maybe just a bucket, but we still had that range break. Beautiful trade, empty space, 52. Every fucking thing, dude. And I, as an educator, as somebody who's been eyeing to get everybody on the same page, I'm having a real good time. So anyway, um, he has some hankering for Cuban women. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Ah, uh, full board said this. Jesus Christ, contract's way too expensive for that dog water drink. No, they're not. Celsius isn't that expensive. Oh my god. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you could get, and here's the thing, if you're priced out, um, you're gonna have to obviously wait for the shorter expiration opportunity. Now, the entry there is, could be obviously cost basis over 34.84, but when you're taking shorter expirations, the goal is to have little to nothing in front of you. And that way the ride or the push is just that much easier. So I would say 36.48 and 37.43 would give you and it could even be if you close there green or up against this, you could swing those. For me, I don't mind paying a little extra. If I can get, I'm looking at 21 days out or even, what is this? Yeah, 28 days out. And, the $40 strikes are, from what I could tell, the spread was a little wide. But in that range, the contracts aren't too bad. So yeah, I mean, obviously we're waiting for cost basis to break. This could be, at worst case scenario, Celsius pops up and completely reverses and flushes back down. Shorter expirations can't afford to deal with that sort of, setup. Longer expirations would have the ability and time length to not, get stuck. So the spread, yeah. So let's just listen. I love this trade. Okay, I love it, but different people inside of this Discord, outside of the Discord, are going to have to manage it differently. If you got 100K, 50K, 20K, you can manage it differently. If you got $1,000 account, you have to fit yourself into the pockets. That is the safest place for you to be, is where we lack resistance. You don't want to be, that's why you don't want to trade in range, because resistance is everywhere. All price points matter inside of the box, and you're going to respond to every single fucking one of them. And it's for continuation to be able to hold runners to see the play execute. We need to make it through this structure. So punchback, that triggers it for people who can afford the contracts and find the, because you might, because the spread's so wide, you might have to come closer in the money and pay more. Again, the market is filled with tough pills to swallow. And a lot of people, instead of swallowing the tough pills and saying, I can't, I have to wait, will compromise. And then they'll be mad at themselves that they missed out on the trade. Or they buy $10 outside of the strikes that we buy, you know, and when our targets get hit, they're like, I'm barely up any. Well, you kind of, compromised, and now you're getting a compromise type gain. So, um, I have some USO contracts. Should I hold over the weekend? I'm holding oil over the weekend. I will hedge, but I am. I think, I mean, yeah, I mean, with the straight and everything, yeah. Hi, what's up? What's up? What are you smiling at? Grabbing your cat? Is that all you came in here for? As a cat? Oh, okay. Why is only one on? Jeez. Sorry. All right. Yeah, Hood is also. I need fucking spilled coffee on my fucking watch list yesterday. Hood is also one that I'm watching, and these are listen. Have patience. Have patience on Celsius. Have patience on Hood. Have patience on these setups. Listen, we can accomplish more by waiting than what most people do by trying to execute shit every single day. Taking little base hits, or you knock out a little $100 $250 trade, like okay, Gucci. But I want the trades, right, like the pros do. I want the trades that are going to keep moving. And Hood, or they have, again, the opportunity with Hood. This is another one. We're going into earnings relatively soon, which honestly is, it is disappointing because Hood doesn't move that well on earnings. From what I can tell, even on what this earnings, I guess, yeah, you do see a full reversal on that one. So that was like a halfway decent. But Hood doesn't move, all that well. I'm going to probably take a speculative position on it, but my hope is that Hood pulls back on earnings and then just gets sucked right back up. Spends a day destroying the contracts and then fucking fires out and gives us a beautiful day trade that's already depleted the value of the contracts. So protecting your capital on patience with a good setup. That's right. Well, you know that this, if again, we have just rinsed, and a lot of you who didn't catch it and a lot of you who did. If you saw how these setups played out, you might have one right now and you're trading it, so no patience needed, right? But for those of you who are sitting in that in between state, I would say I'm kind of in that in between. I'm looking to build a new watch list and stuff. I just got through knocking out, this last month has been disgusting. Good. I'm looking to set those back up again because these are the things that I trade throughout the week. Like I'll add contracts or I'll scalp it while I'm swing at, on top of the swing trade. So like I'm looking to suck the value out of these out of these setups. But I can make more. You could make more, technically on a higher time frame setup over a series of days or a day versus catching a small in range move or like even this breakdown. Like I'm looking for this up here. I want that. And that's okay because that's something that I've been able to catch. What are we listening to? Get out the way. Get out the way. God, I remember this reminds me of the 2000s. Sorry, ladies. All right. If you are in the Discord and you would like for me to take a look at something, please go ahead and drop your request. Um, we're going to try to identify a solid couple of solid setups. I am watching Apple today as well. I just wanted to mention that. And I'm going to really quickly break this down. So while you guys are dropping your requests, pay attention. I do have some Apple Runneritos to the upside, but I have a feeling that there could possibly be a little bit of a leg down in our future, seeing that we have this empty space underneath us. I'd like to try to maybe take this one down on a little. Again, you can, if this doesn't look good for you or you don't like the setup, then by all means, we have this directly up above us. Um, this box up above us, which we are rejecting right now in pre-market. It is not a question that this is our floor at 271.73, and there is empty space directly underneath us, basically all the way down. I mean, truthfully, there is a potential to go all the way to 268, but I am taking, being a little bit more moderate or, conservative, I guess, excuse me, with a target of around 270 directly underneath us. And then if I have the ability to leave runners, I'd be looking at this second target at 268.50. So there is a potential downside play, but I just want to preface this. I am in upside runners. So if this thing triggers and pops over 273.84 and fires the upside, I'm in it. I like it. Because again, I have this Apple, I have Apple empty space right here, which I don't think we've talked about yet, but Apple has empty space to 278.25. And, yeah, that's right over 276. So there's a good little day trade there. But then also I talked about this pocket right here, which I think ultimately allows for Apple to go into all-time highs. And we're at those levels. We're testing those levels right now that have ultimately held Apple down. So Walmart, I need to understand what you're looking for in a setup a little bit better. Everyone's different. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to go through this. So yeah, Walmart, great trade. I'm yesterday this surpassed my target. I took profit, and as of right now, I'm not going to say that the opportunity is over. For me, it is. You know what I mean? Like I literally trade in the pockets. I get the pocket done, and then I vamanos. I look at the empty space that's possibly left inside of it, and I notice that Walmart pretty much filled up all of it. So the empty space to the downside, maybe a little bit lackluster. And then directly underneath you, you just have this retest at 130. So let me ask you a question. How many of you guys are in Walmart on TikTok? And yeah, how many of you guys are in Walmart? So are you still in it or are you looking to trade it? What is the deal? I just went over that on Celsius. Was strike 128 or 132? Yeah. Okay. Um, just for future reference, folks, I TP at structure. When the space is filled, the trade is done, and I move on. I do this because I have learned the hard way. Every lesson I tell you is from pain. I learned the hard way to yes, I can leave runners if I see more. I got more. I already did. I had a target right here of 131.82 trim. And it kind of, it was making its way up there. I took most of the profit off the table. I let my runners rip up into that empty space into the 132.80s, and I took all the money off of the trade. I'm done. Now, that's not to say that there can't, and that's not what I'm saying, but I know that when empty space is filled, it's exhausting. So let me explain this in story mode again, right? You take a long hike up a tall ass mountain and you do it fast. Are you exhausted? Probably. Are you going to sit at camp and put your supplies together before you make that trek? Whether it's continuing up or continuing down, you're damn fucking right you are. So, in the same way, when price gets filled up on any empty space pocket, wee, empty space is filled. Wait, hold on, we got to pack up, right? Oh, empty space below us. We got to pack up. When the empty space is filled, price does dumb shit. I'm not with the dumb shit. I'm with the idiot shit. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, that is something that I want everybody to know is like you can trust that when that empty space is filled, so have my orders been. All right. Best believe. Falling over my head. This is kind of depressing song, but we're gonna leave it on. That looks good. That looks good. Looks like your box had kind of like a false punchback almost over here. It looks like it's low liquidity, but nice pocket of empty space, and that's CSIQ, Canadian Solar. Ooh, okay, yeah. I bet you this is a 24-hour box in itself. Yeah, so you could just call it a base break, right? And then you got the first overhead target at 1550. So that's awesome. This is going to be as a rock climber, right? That's where you're going to want to set up camp or build or reclaim in order to get to the remainder of that empty space. We can also go look back and see, like, okay, you had empty space here. It looks like you filled up in about a 5 day move to there to the upside. Same thing here, 3 days, you fill up that empty space to the upside. I'm trying to spot it after a dumper. Oof. So yeah, I have no disagreement with that. I think that's a pretty solid setup. I do want to include these two. So 1565 and 1625 will be two targets, or two recovery points to get you the entirety of that empty space. So loves you. Stay alive. I don't know where else I can go. I just went over USO. I'm on YouTube, so that was some solid advice. I'm gonna put it on my MySpace. Oh, dude, share that on my MySpace. Outside of $40. Outside of $40 on NVO. Let's see your chart, Green. Wow, that was a soundboard. All right, real quick. Good God. Um, I can't for some reason zoom in on this fucking chart. Let's see, can I? There we go. Okay, so I see very much lack of points of contact here, right? Do you see that green wick? See these candle closes? I would rather have it up here than have it floating. So you're literally kind of floating in here. So let's correct this. And what time frame is that on? So 1 hour. Okay. So let's look at this on the 1 hour. All right. So I know something like this might be confusing, but remember, that's its own little thing, right? So is this. It looks like this happened in after hours. So this anomaly where, I mean, if you wanted to be really, actually, you know what? I'm even going to correct my own analysis here. I'm going to pull that up since those wicks aren't equal. I'm going to pull that up to the candle close at 40.30. This happens in after hours, which, I always cut it some slack. Typically, if you open or close over it, it's a decent sign, but this happening well after hours, we'll consider it the anomaly. You open up underneath it, and you end up flushing. So I would reuse this box. Everything that you see here is still viable. Like that right there, obviously needing to hold. USO. Yeah, if you guys are on TikTok, remember you can go to I can't really say it because I'll get in trouble, but all right. So lastly, I would say 40.38, right? And because you kind of have that gap up right there, I think it would be, 40.84. So it looks good. I have a problem with trying to watch too many setups. Can you advise? So this is going to be a digging into you have 2 to 3. I I cannot, and I hate it because I mean, think about it. I see plays, I see you guys catch plays. I wish I had fucking 10 arms and maybe another fucking noggin because like straight up I would be able to catch a lot more. But I outside of 3 stocks, I start to struggle depending on what they are. If I have long swings or something, kind of like I did last week where there was like Nike and PayPal and all these other different stocks, I can manage those pretty well. But if I'm in more than, 2 to 3, um, then I'm starting to stress out. So when you're selecting your play, you're looking at contract pricing and the risk, like basically what the setup is like. Does it look like Celsius? You know what I mean? Does it have like, and you're trying to basically filter out the ones that just really don't present clear opportunities. And those are the ones that you focus on. And you can't sit there thinking, well, like, what if I pick the wrong one? Like, maybe this one's, you have to just pick what looks good, what sparks, that dopamine, hit when you see something that looks clear and fits your setup. So Potter needs 3 phones. I got 2. Where do I set my stop losses? I set them on structure. So, like, for example, like on this NVO chart, that floor, that cost basis, or that top of the box would be an area that I would set a stop loss. Stop losses are always around structure. ABVV to the downside. I have nothing to say to that other than yes, you got to go for it. Set a great stop loss. It looks great. Your chart is obviously, I mean, I could correct it, but I mean, you're on your phone, and then you're leaving that box on the 24-hour time frame. So, I mean, shit, that thing looks like it's already relatively close. Why does your chart look like that? Hold on. 195. That's why. 196.47. How is cost basis in your box already? That sounds funny. Cost basis is a result of the box, of price oscillating between 2 points, right? You literally have, institutions here and here, and the median is their cost basis and where the volume is held. It's where the price is exchanges hands and switches gears inside of a range. So that becomes the battleground and where volume ends up being concentrated. Up in the link up and in. I'm with my friends. Everything at the same time. So you're trying to. I'm a little bit out of my mind. I don't mind. I'll be racing for time. Downside, but so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and your third candle in here. I mean, I could definitely see the potential. You already made a great stretch down into or very close to structure. So I mean, in another world, right, or in another way, you could also say this is exhibiting some strength. FDA fast tracks psychedelic research following Trump order. That's not it. The fuck is that ticker now? We just brought it up. It's not MiniMed. Oh, how is my cost? I got you. I got you. I got you. Got you. Yeah. So you're gonna double click on the box. Um, John, I got that should be clipped. I've gone over that like 3 or 4 times. I'll go over it in a second. I, that one doesn't make sense to you? Slap that chart up. Let me see your chart. We'll make it make sense. And then make dollars. Oh, my leg. All right. All right. Love seeing your strat in action. Can you check my boxes? Oh, yeah. Good. Hey. All right. So that one, I get that. I probably would have had the same, maybe. Yeah, you got it, brother. I I mean, the box looks good. I'm just like, I could see that one as the floor. I like to get the exterior of the range. But other than that, man, I think the only thing you're missing here is just this box up here. Or the range up here. But it looks good. I have a Tesla 365 put for today. Should I roll it or cut it? Do you want me to yell at you? No, just kidding. Um, not with that deep ass voice. So here's my dilemma, okay? Or not. I'm not even going to say it's not my dilemma, but it's Tesla's dilemma. Tesla is very clearly established inside, and right now with the two rejections at the top, you could say that maybe we're leaning in that direction, but Tesla is in between after earnings, after inflating its contracts really, really, really high. It's in between two ranges. Now, the range underneath it doesn't nearly have as much volume, right? There's some empty space and a gap down there, so it's definitely possible. But when I'm in my least favorite place to trade on earth, like you'd have to have me, at pew pew point, because like I straight up refuse to trade in between two higher time frame boxes. And I think that's what creates the lack of bias here, right? Is because the trigger lies above and below. And while it's not recovering anything and it's not losing anything, it's also destroying the value of the contracts that rushed into it. And today is likely going to be the knife in the heart. They're probably going to yank it up and yank it down one more time. And that may be the opportunity to see with greater insight if this floor, and that's really where, as a seller or as a short seller, I would, you're already in position. So it kind of leaves you with you don't really have the ability to explore this notion, so maybe over 378, there's a good probability that you're going to go to 381.16 and maybe go for that floor. But I would want to have something a little bit more solid in order, like if you could pop up and leave the gap behind, right? And then reject and fall back underneath 380, I could actually start to logically take a short with a good reason to do so. But in this case, when we're in a box, in a range, in between two boxes that decide whether or not you stay in range, it's just a really, really difficult place to manage and make executive decisions on your setup. Now, with that being said, and giving credit to the lower time frame, where again on the 30 you have it established. I would say I also can see the smaller, lower time frame channel outside of 380. Yeah, puts get cut. 386.61. Now you have a real shot. Excuse me, 385.77. You have a real shot at actually moving back up into that earnings gap. So, would I do a strangle here? I would rather strangle myself. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. Go ahead. Explain. T2G. Talk to me. What do you think? Understood. That's where that scaling in and scaling out, man. Like I gave an example yesterday that I probably could have done a little bit better on, but I mean, if we look at each chart as like a doctor, right? And like we have, we're trying to diagnose a problem. If your leg is bent sideways, right? I can say your leg's broken. That's the 24-hour time frame, right? I get a clear picture of what the problem is or whatever. But if I want to actually make repairs, right? I would have to zoom in or do CAT scans or whatever on your knee. That's zooming into the lower time frames to actually narrate. Okay, you got a torn ACL, MCL, your patella, I think I said it was up your ass, like shit's blown out of the water. And now I can actually begin to put the pieces together. So like when you're looking at one, it is one body. There is no separation, right? I mean, there is no separation in some ways between the 24 and the 1 minute. It is all one beast. And in order to understand that thing, and it's all of its complexities, you have to see it up and you have to see it down. Even if you necessarily don't have to, it's just good to see how price looks. I like doing top down analysis as a way to like, when the higher time frame setups and now the lower time frame setups start saying up, now I have complete agreement and I can make sense of that trade. And when I do that same thing on Tesla, right? We come to the conclusion that right? Even if you were just look at it this way, right? Yeah, let's look at it this way. Bullish, bearish. Where are you? Dead slap motherfucking center in between the two of them. This was the only consolidation that you had underneath you. and this is the most recent consolidation above you. You're dead slap center, right? And that's on the 24-hour. 4-hour confirms my theory to be true. Now I can start to, again, place, like, say, right here, I can set that line on top of Tesla and say, well, maybe a little bit further to 365.91, but that still would be a bounce. Which, what would that do? If price pops up and then moves down, sellers move in, but price maybe doesn't necessarily fall and flips right back over. Your goal is to lower price, contract prices, and to essentially create that tension, because is it harder to get out of a box that you're building in, or is it harder to build a box, get out of your box, and then break another one? So you need good tension. You need a catalyst, or something exterior to drive volume into something like that. But yeah, up down all around. These things are important to scale in and out of that chart, so that way you have a clear picture of what's going on. Stream's full. If anybody can reshare, that would be so good. No, no. I'm so sorry, dude. That's not what I was trying to say. Um, Neil will say it, I guess. Rotisserie. Listen, though, I just had it was a mohi or moha, I don't know, rotisserie chicken the other day. Sheesh. It was MOJ, Mojo or something like that. Can I look at, yeah, 1 second. Hold on, let's see. Yes, mute streams if they echo. I just saw the stock. OGN looks like it has empty space and moves. Let me see that chart. I need that chart. My bad, NVO was a 4-hour chart, but what do you think of it as an earnings play? Um, well, again, one of the first things that we do is we ask one question: does it rip ass? And it looks like on that individual day, it did not. It had already dumped. So maybe the move comes beforehand. This one, no. This one, no. But it seems like earnings comes after, like prices its own fucking earnings in. What about this one? Nah. What about this? What the fuck am I listening to right now? Strokes. Um, so I think I'm coming to the conclusion, bro, that the earnings kind of suck, and it might be more catalyst based. You know what I would do if I? And this is, again, every stock has a personality and might have a different. It's kind of like dating, it might have to do some different things to impress it. But in this sense, I would actually go and look at what was the catalyst that drove this down on all of these dumps. Go find out what that was and see if it's something that you can see coming again, right? And I know that sounds stupid, but if it's a biopharmaceutical, then there's a good chance that it might correlate directly with testing, or something of that you could actually have the ability to front run. Oh my, that just back and go to town now. You got it, girl. That's Silo. What does that say? Silo, yeah. Morning, brother. Said circle. Ooh, it's looking better. It's looking better and better. What usually gets this fucker going? Is there like a telecom? Is there like news or something? It looks bitching though. It's fucking terrifying right there. What a fucking album cover. You said earnings is May. Oh, dude, I can see when people show up in live trading now. Look at this. Look at this shit, dude. Now I know who's tardy. No, Look at that. Look at that. Oh my, Karina, Ivan? No, no, I'm just kidding. Oh no, papi. Let's see, Qcom. Oh no, fucking way. Well, fuck. That's not fair. I thought the same shit. Ugh. Fuck off. Yeah, that kind of. I'm a little salty. I'm gonna get over it here in a second. Ah. All right, we're all right now. Yeah, they took our jabs. Fuck, I had the alert set. Well, again, a testament to the system, right? I guess that's the positive here. Yeah, yeah, that's all good though. It's all good. All right, I'm better now. All right, I just had to breathe through it. Hell yeah, T2G. That's a good way to word that. Um, I'm on my phone, but here I still want it, man. I want that. I want your phone charts. Good God. Okay, old box punch through. So yeah, you'd be correct in that. That was another box. What the fuck am I listening to right now? Lord have mercy. Some of the music that pops up on this thing is blowing my mind. Okay, so wake off of that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can already tell I'm gonna have a fucking time with this chart. What is it? Fucking OGN. Oops. Okay, so it's back up. I mean, that's the only structure that you have over there. It's empty all the way to 1291, so I would just range that up. 1180 and then 1290. It's 924. DHT. You said it was $11 last month. Now it's at $18. Yeah, I still would never trade anything like. I mean, I now it's kind of cool because it's got a good old juicy box, but that's awesome. Good morning, boss. This is more a learning question about if you would play ODTE. I no longer expedition, but with a quick move past resistance. Yes, that's what I talked to. Yeah, that's actually what I said last night. Yes, UPS is a potential day trade. if if we can clear 108.34. Yes, with a target of 109.50. And yeah, you would, so with that, right, it's a small pocket of empty space and you would be using lower expiry or shorter expiration contracts because yes, small pocket, empty space, but also you get to decrease your risk by hopefully picking something that's a little shorter in expiration. So yep, 5 minutes, guys. I gotta get my coffee. If you were on TikTok, go run to YouTube and go check out the analysis on the cues or whatever you missed. I'll be right back. El Pasino. Yeah, go message Alex. He'll get you hooked back up. Alex, I think someone on TikTok needs help. 900 of those now. Nose magnets. I don't even fucking use them. Anybody can do that. What are we talking about? Mr. Rex? Okay. The way he just pronounced Al Pacino? Leave me alone, okay? Ooh. And nightmare come true. All right. That's fine. If you'd like to see the whole screen, go to YouTube. The motherfucking guy. Logo for my freedom. It's the only thing that's real these days. Ding, 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 ding. I would assume QCOM. Oh my god, that 15-minute candle wick. If anybody swung IWM, you should be up. Roll a dice. Maybe need a new pair of shoes. Famous overnight. Apple was looking down, or rather, it just reversed. Watching to see what it does at 271.47. But I can't do. Same wick. If it can get there, I mean, it's a. One second, man. I am shorting Apple at the moment. There's no entry on Apple. What are you talking about? I talked about this one in pre-market. I have contracts loaded up. 271.50. I just said it 5 minutes ago. Sometimes fundamental analysis combined with technical. Yeah. No, I didn't. That's the imbalance. I was just gonna say. That's why I talked about that setup in pre-market. Yo, we got another scammer in the. That's so funny. He has the same bio, but they still DM you. Hotkeys, baby. Hotkeys on Apple. Uh-huh. Hold on. I just bent over to the floor. I'll tell you what, guys. This is how many more times, I guess, is the question here. I know a break is coming, so if you're sitting on cash, be patient. We still are inside of these realms. You know, if you took that rejection overhead or something, but it's going to be this box underneath us that ultimately decides whether this is going to be an upside or a downside day. We're seeing everything leg down first, which oftentimes at the bell, that first initial move will be reversed. I expect for Apple to likely try to reverse as well. Come on. Oh, yeah. Now, I have a feeling that somebody heard me say that I just shorted Apple and impulsively bought a contract on Apple puts. If you did that, shame on you. I discussed this before the bell, and if you liked it, then you should have had that set up, contract selected, ready to go. If you didn't, then you weren't ready for it. Because that's what you're going to have to do on your own. No. But yelling at me, Chad. NVIDIA just cleared that. Okay, not bad. Damn, Jesus Christ. He's got empty space up there, Chad? Or is it all-time high? No, yeah, it's got that gap. That's right. That's what Golf Man was trying to catch yesterday. 206. It's not bad. I wait for retest or no entry. Good job, Owen. Yeah, because right now is about the time to bounce it. The 270s just got hit. All right, IWM is sinking its teeth underneath 275 here. I'm going to zoom in. It is the top of the box. There is a gap, obviously. It is falling very, very quickly. I'm loosing on my own. Oh my God. It doesn't. I mean, dude, even if I can't tell you how many trades I took with signal callers when I first started trading that they won and didn't get half of because timing on like lower time frames, like by the time that I make the decision and the lightning hits my thumb, and I get into that trade, you're already late. It's on a scalp, on a day trade. I'd rather be having again teaching people to be able to be doing these things in motion with me. Or if they decide they liked Apple this morning, they're like, yeah, that does look, and that's ultimately what has to be done. Some people are too nervous or intimidated or don't think that, but like, if what I explain to you or you show me your chart and I explain it and it makes sense, that's your choice. And that's how you see these people posting these ridiculous gains that, again, I had nothing to do with. But yep, Apple bounced also that right around that 270 that I had marked out. I probably could have been a little cleaner on that floor, but it's got empty space now back up for that reversal. Yep, 270.06. IWM. Watch right here. What the fuck am I listening to? Atoms for Peace. Anyone interested in spinning the wheel? That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Nice bounce on IWM. Back up above 275.96. It's got that pocket right back up here to 276.45. I'm not really seeing too much right now as far as structure is concerned. Dude, that bounce on Meta, diabolical. Nice. Yo, that 3-minute punchback on Tesla. Did you take that, Dijin? The punchback? For a lower time frame trade, like a scalp, that's fucking fire. Oh, it pulled back, retested. It's trying to build on top. It needs to stay above 1322. Dijin, great job. You've been knocking those scalps out. I know. I saw PG. That one hit my targets. It actually hit both of my targets. Look, first target, and then I guess I'm sorry, I was off fucking 10 cents. Shoot me. IWM's reclaimed that floor here. Looking for the wick to clear at 276.13. Fill up that empty space. Ugh, gross. I hate that. We never been. Anyone interested in a cheese grater? That's fucking hilarious. Do you day trade IWM? I am not day trading IWM right now. No, I have contracts that I swung. Cheap, low risk. I'm still holding on to them. Um, but yeah, no, I'm not. I ain't doing none of that. Not until we break range. Yeah, open in range. No feel the page. That didn't work. I gotta find something. NVIDIA's got my interest peaked. I want to see what it does at this overhead. That's one of the only chips that, I think some people might be thinking it's already priced in, but it hasn't really ripped like the other ones, which have, I mean, AMD is a beast and still found more upside. But yeah, I'm curious. I think that NVIDIA has accumulated a lot of short sellers over the last year because of its lack of range. I'm not range, but because of its range, I guess really. Wow. Meta. What the fuck? 2027 NVIDIA puts? Wow. Is XSP 715 put crazy today? 715 put? 715 put? Call? I mean, I hope you know. If you're looking at 713 and 714, those are empty space targets directly. That's the SPX options index. Interesting. All right, zooming out on IWM, I'm just going to leave it be. Again, we are and do have 3 rejections here. And as we approach these floors underneath us, if they don't provide, there's still, again, this is where patience, ultimately I think will pay off. Because while there is, scalping opportunities down here, most of us or most of you aren't. Um, we ultimately want to see, is this rejection that we just saw here actually going to continue? Because it is something that can find a floor and flip this shit over, and that short sell will lead IWM to ripping hard. And in the same breath, if this thing punches through the structure underneath us, it's very likely we could see that reversal. So Apple pulled itself back up on that floor. Snow. Why is it dumping like that? Oh, he said, I don't know, but I caught it. It just hit that beautiful 137, 137.27. Oh, nice. I think that's cost basis, but I do think that box was. Oh, damn. That's good. That's real fucking good. Baby. That's a bitchin' setup right there, bad boy. Oh. Bumba clot. On what? Like short side? I wouldn't say you're dumb as long as you can manage your stop loss or if you know where you're going to stop out on that thing. Oh, I mean, if you caught the bounce, yeah. Nvidia said no. Seeing some heaviness here. Apple also is just retested actually the exact green candle 271.90 there to the upside. Still more empty space down there, so that looks good. Um, I'd want to stop right there. Anything like that. So if you're that or that overhead right here, and then right now it's going to have to maintain right here, a little stair step here. I mean, that's fucking pretty bitchin'. Kind of looks like Netflix a little bit. 92.85 is surefire. Right now, it's trying its fucking hardest to hold onto that floor. I haven't seen some shit like this on IWM in a long time. Just the, I mean, it's starting to really pique my interest for that 273.82 floor, which would be the third time now at the floor. Netflix is trying to hit that 92.65 here. Do I have access to Hesse? Who is Hesse? He's saying Hefe. Be impatient. Be impatient right now. What did you say? IWM? There's the gap on IWM here. Nah, I just retested that 275.75. Am I thinking of taking a SPY? Uh, Considering it, I'm watching it. I have all of these charts up at the top of my monitor, but everything is still there's meta. Trigger, yeah, trigger just trigger one and two just fired, but it just slapped Yeah, first one is 665.14 here. What's that? Yeah, 665. Want to see that clear. I'm being patient right now, guys, for sure. So this is, I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to see. But again, we need to, whenever we reject something, you pop out. I usually like that a lot. Um, boy, I tell you what, that's a fuck ton of rejections right here. Netflix is starting to engulf that candle a little bit more. It's starting to look better and better. Again, those aren't the focuses. Oh, mm-hmm. Nice. Ooh. Yeah, the system prevails. Yeah, that was a really nice move. Netflix as well. Might be a really great decision if this thing can do what it's got to do here. It's fucking looks really good. Beautiful fucking move. Beautiful fucking move there. All right, now without getting too excited, this is where we're breaking overhead. This is where we're looking up. So now this becomes the area that we must maintain and hold with our way. Ultimately, there's a lot of space up there, especially if you got time. And this level right here, folks, has been pretty fucking strong. And that again, if you're trading like short expirations right now, these can be last time IWM dump, Apple ripped, might do the same. Fucking let's go. Nice fucking move there. Yeah, that was fucking fire. I like the way it closed on that floor a lot. Five. Any any recommend any ETFs like these or Arachnus? That's for QILD is one of my favorites. All right, I think that might be that lower time frame empty space. Yeah, it is. All right, so this is where we get to find out if this is that a sustainable move. Micro area here. A little retest could be okay, but obviously we want to see, especially with this thing hitting a new low today and then pulling itself up so well, I want to see them start to pull those short sellers out of their positions. It's fucking fire. I'm watching the video still. I'm watching. I fucking got mad charts up right now, more than I usually do. Yeah, I have. I show you guys are seeing my main screen. I've got my chart divided into six. I got six charts up on the other screen. I'm looking at the 4 hour on Netflix. I'm looking at Apple reclaiming its floor on the hourly. I'm looking at Nvidia on the 5 minute and twerking out between 203 and fucking 201. Watching Meta on the 15 minute to see if that candle will close above 664. After that nice retest of 663.12, which if you, that was one of the entries that it gave you, so that would be, again, stop loss area. Dude, it's yeah, it's looking better and better. I don't know if anybody's took that top down. It's kind of spooky because it's moving down. None of the other ETFs are doing that. And a lot of the times one front runs the other, and it's seeming less and less likely that this thing, I don't know if anybody grabbed the strangle on IWM yesterday, but that just hasn't hit either. So 273.83 though, if we do lose this floor on IWM, man, we are really fucking flushing here. Right below this floor, this is empty space, like I said. What the fuck am I listening to right now, dude? This is like a movie soundtrack or something. Yeah, that's what just happened. Yeah, that was a punch down, literally a punch down through the box, and then you're gonna meet this equal low, likely. Yeah, they're literally right there. And then, yeah, yeah, couldn't reclaim, got shoved down, candle closed inside of the top of the box. You do have cost basis there, which, when you're heading down in an uptrend, it's always nice to see that actually trigger. But then at that point, yeah, you just have the floor left. Floor gets lost. Now we're, again, next structure was right here. Who is IWM is if you are watching anything long, keep your eyes on the ETFs, folks, because right now well, the Qs are pulling back too to that to retest here. Yeah, I guess Spy is coming. Spy did come back down as well. I might look at those 702s. No, I'm using Strangle on IWM. Is that bad since it's in range? No, that's oftentimes when I'm looking for a break of range. That's exactly what I'll do. And then I'll add to the winning position. It's a speculative position, low risk. And then if we get the break that I'm looking for, there we go. All right, up above us right now on IWM, we got that floor here. Again, just narrating. Netflix is still holding right now. We're still green on that. And Spy just hit cost basis. Look at that. Bam. I fucking hate this shit. That song was, ugh, not right now. Nice. Very good. Got that gap fill slightly above there. So that box gave you a new low. That new low was 241. Let's see how SPY is acting here. Still sitting on that cost basis. Qs came back down to retest. Got a lot of wicks up above them though. Apple is struggling really, really hard to try to really hang on to this floor. Did you get some 702 puts on SPY? Maybe. No, I am gonna wait to grab those 702s, I think a little bit longer. But that's that's what I would grab. That's what I'm looking to grab, yes, on SPY, but not while it's falling. That would be again, if this is the top of the range, then that's the bottom of the range. That's what I'm looking for. So keep your eyes on them. It's just a little gamble. It is sitting. I'm watching it, dude. Look at it on the hourly. Oh, god damn, it looks so good. We have a 30-minute range right here. This range shares an overhead over there. So right now, if we can get over that 93.22, there it is, 93.37. I think is that candle close there on the 15 minute. Yeah, I loving this Netflix push. If the next goal here is to get 93.35 held down and really pick up the momentum here. You really can't, like, right now what's happening, it's fine momentarily, but we want to see price kind of explode here shortly. All right, might stop tickling those 702s here. Yeah. No. Hmm. Well, that's a little heavy. Might trail stop out of these weeklies on Netflix here. Improv, not. It's tapping off of the top of the box here. Obviously, there's a tolerancy for 92.84. If you're looking at my chart. Coin. Damn. Yeah, it's dropping a little bit there. Looks like snow is melting. I mean, dead ass. Like, that thing is fucking dumping hard. Mara's dumping. Lulu's pulling back. Jamia's pulling back. BA's about to pull back. ALK. Tesla fucking completely reversed. Right back down. Yeah, yeah. Only the weeklies. Well, only the I had a longer extra. It wasn't just this week, but yeah, I'm out. Empty space filled. Yeah. Yeah. It might be re-entry on that one. So, are you playing Netflix ODTE? I got 95 for next issue. I am, but I am trying to right now. If it falls, sinks back underneath, I'm about to get out. I like that it fell fast with the market looking heavy. And hopefully I got some 702s, so hopefully that'll save my cheeks if we do that. But we're flushing pretty quickly here. They took our jabs. IWM couldn't find a floor on that bounce. Not yet. It's still sitting on this 2 minute floor. Okay, so you're still on the floor, actually. I'll take it back. Good retest on Netflix. We need to get and bounce back up above that mark right there. Talk. I'm watching that, yeah. Q's bounced pretty nicely. Q's IWM, SPY, still holding cost basis. If you're in IWM puts, well, recovering cost basis right here after recovering this floor would lead you back up to return to 275. And then you do have a pocket up to 276.44 where price could, so you could be looking at a punchback basically or range back. I don't know, that sounds a little sus. Um, back through and up to that 276. Have you seen those videos of kids getting their parents like to order them coffee at like Starbucks? They asked their parents, like told their parents, like, yeah, make sure they add two back shots to the coffee, and then they go through the drive-through and they're like, "Can I get two back shots?" The fucking staff is like, "Yo, what the fuck? Whoa, hey, no! I can't." I'm gonna stop talking. Ah, why do I forget where I am? Fuck off. Ooh, Metago. I'm using 9266 on Netflix. I think this thing's got a good bounce here. Don't toast my oats. Is IWM building your box? Building my box? It's building a box. It's not mine. I don't have, but over 275, 20, like I talked about. Right here is, there's a play here, but it's got to get pop up and basically punch through this right here and reverse upon the day. Ah, ha, ha, dodged a bullet. Well, let me, good, good. Everybody goes through it, man. It's good for your soul. Hold on, I gotta mute myself on TikTok. Neil's gay. I was kidding. All right, I'm done. I didn't say that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what like all of these clips, dude. It's just like I'm just telling stories or telling a joke while I wait for something to happen. Uh, I know, bro. IWM pop. There you go. All right, now I think we can actually start to possibly pick a direction. It's 10 o'clock, 10:10. By 10:30, we need to be we need to be seeing momentum. We got SPY bouncing on cost bases, right? We've got IWM bouncing, what actually punched down through a box, hit a new low, bounced, recovered the floor, and now has the possibility to fill this pocket up of empty space. I've said this like 4 times. Um, through this 275.82 and get up into that empty space, but that would drastically change the candles, right? Because IWM is still in range. So it bounces at the bottom of its range. Do we ping pong back all the way the fuck up? I think that's a little far fetched, but SPY definitely could possibly bounce and move up. But this is where we're gonna find out if we have the volume and momentum to do that. If it fails, poopy. Or if Trump tweets, you're done. Meta signed a deal with Amazon. Oh, very good. I no, I'll have to watch it. Hey, my son has been asking me if he could watch South Park, and I'm like, nah, bro, not yet. Meta, apparently. Yo, Potter, I recently started trading. Uh, I have no idea. Yo, Potter, I recently started trading again. Currently up 110% in 3 days with just your lives. Let's fucking go, dude. I might whip out the saxophone in here in a second. Yeah. Yo, can you go Amazon shopping in the metaverse? That's ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous. I actually, yo, this is the cleanest fucking channel on Amazon. Excuse my language, but it definitely. I'm gonna 263.10. If you can punch over the top here, it looks good. Netflix is curling right the fuck back up after scaring the tights off of me. But I am watching this one. It needs to clear that 92.84 and back outside of 92.99. That was a great bounce, but now it's just established us in range. Lulu. The saxophone means something bad is going to happen. That's true. You're being a dick. He's terrible at playing. Netflix, I am watching Netflix right now, yes. The 24-hour setup is I mean, I don't regret it. It's just the 24-hour setup been in range for a couple of days, wicked a new low. Today we ended up bouncing on the bottom of a channel and actually a lower time frame cost basis underneath us. That bounce ended up reclaiming a floor. When it got the floor, I decided to scoop it up, and now it's retesting just above it. And but yeah, it popped up, reclaimed the floor, punched through a box, punched through 2 boxes, and hit the top of a 24-hour or excuse me 1 hour resistance and rejected. But we got a really nice retest here at 92.67, and I'm hoping that pops us out of 92.84 and back up to 93 here. What are we listening to right now, bro? Do you still live stream Battlefield? Not very often. No. Arc Raiders? No. I've been playing Half Sword because it's mindless, and I don't have the mental energy to be getting into a story game or something. I haven't been playing video games as much. I play what? Yeah, half stakes. That is a good joke, bro. No, high stakes. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry. I read. Did you not hear? Wait, this dude said or typed in the chat. I said I've been playing half sword. He said my wife hates when I play half sworded. That was ridiculous. Oh shit, yeah. No. Oh, okay. Sorry. He said have fun, play video games with your buddies. I been trying to lay off the video games a little bit, but I might hop back in there. Yeah, real quick, I didn't interrupt you. Watch Celsius, guys. Does have a pocket of empty space up to 3489, and that 3520. Obviously, we're watching that on a higher time frame. I have never played Elden Ring. Anyone still play Half Life Deathmatch? I don't even know what that is. I'm on Netflix. Fucking bounce. I'm out of this. By the way, underneath 9266 for a small loss if we hit that. I might just maybe I just nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna re-enter. I could close it now and just be break even. Where's the momentum at, dude? It's dead. It's gone. Volume gainers. Those are poopy right now. Yeah, not even the gap gainers are really moving that much. ARM is moving, but that's I bet it is. Yeah. Am I in snow? I have it on the 4 hour in a pretty gnarly little range right here, but it could be moving up to the top of that range for sure. If that 2 hour says so. Yeah, yeah. You looking at that punchback on the 2 hour right here? Yeah, I see that. Someone on TikTok named Andrew says hi. Joker. Look at you, dude. What was that? What? No, no, no. What was that? Oof is all dead. It might be that choppy Friday, guys, on the fucking ETFs, dude. Look at the cute. Look at IWM perfectly fucking in range. It looks like we're set up to for some sort of fucking Trump tweet in some ways. I might just buy 270s and leave my 279s and go take a nap. Man, why didn't you tell me that 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago? Oh, well, I guess you're hitting the floor. I would have wanted to slap it like right there or right there over the top of 137.83. I bet you there's a small structure there. Oh, yeah, it's got Amazon scrolling. Netflix got me. All right, I'm at SMH ODTE 480 750 puts. Thanks, Potter. Love your stuff. I'll be taking your class. Gonna get a massage again. Hell yeah, dude. So I get rejected a floor. I had to. Mm-hmm. Yo, what a dip call, Potter. Apple literally hit down to 270. Yes, sir. Imbalance target. Cover. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know why PLTR fell off like that, but damn it, fucking. It's just got a squirrely lower time frame setup though. It's a lot of pockets. Literally, literally. Gave me a Vegemite sandwich. There's a campaign against PLTR today. Yeah, but I mean, that's already set in fucking motion. Amazon is up at the highs here. Mm-hmm. And not getting snow yet, but it's being squirrely. Got a 1 minute box right here as cost basis. Better go green. No way this price action is real. That's it is real. That's funny. I'm big chilling right now. I'm watching Netflix. I stopped out of it. I'm still watching. It's got a pocket of empty space up there, but IWM is chopping. It's in range. So I'm kind of staying away from that right now. It does have a pocket move or a move up to 276.41, but oh, that's weird. AMD, yeah, all the semiconductors are fucking. Lara is fucking dumping. Neo looks like it's trying to fucking punch back or something. Good Tesla's. Damn. To what? Philip, like down here? I mean, that's a tall order, my boy. To get sunk down underneath the top of where you're heading right now. I don't know. I mean, I know APP can put on a show, but I'm uncertain if that's going to be an easy move to make, man. 230 or 430 is rough, so yeah, be patient right now. If you haven't taken anything, especially on the ETFs. Like, don't get caught up in the speculation yet. Like, listen, I still have a strangle set up on this, and I'm kind of adding. It feels like something news might hit, but I'm staying super low risk. I got stuff out of Netflix, but other than that, I mean, I'm waiting, I'm watching because there's a lot of things are moving. Like Amazon is moving decently, and um, but a lot of stuff right now is stuck in range. I did I did buy some 702s on Spy off that pop, but I feel like if I walk away from the chart, it's gonna dump. I'll roll away. I have 3 feet of distance. No, I just ordered some breakfast. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got some biscuits and gravy, dude. Need that. Must. That's fucking too funny. Just say the war is over again. Yeah. If Trump, dude, I can feel Trump's grubby little fingers sliding over his screen on puddles of grease. I'm sorry. That was super descriptive. Yeah, I can feel it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure there is. There, I mean, dude, what is it? Well, we know where there's a huge investments fund. I think Palm Beach, Florida, has the highest number, or they have the most Israeli war bonds. I think it's war bonds than any other spot in the world. They have the most, and they started buying them. I think it was it roughly before October 7th? So I think multiple people just said Palm Beach, Pete. Oh, what's up, Ellie? Don't say it. Listen, use disguised words. No, I don't like that either. That's fucking Pepsi Steen. Clearwater Clay. I mean, I've seen videos of what looks exactly like Delane in fucking Nova Scotia. Like, what's going on, Boo? Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, yeah, I've seen people. Yeah, they long. You know what though? That thing is this one of those fucking pinch trades. It's, pinch price for I think what was that? Almost 2 years. So it's beautiful. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh shit. Um, hold that thought for 1 second. Sorry, puppy. Okay, what were we talking about? Rocket Lab? Very good. Last week I nailed every trade. This week I've made the same mistakes I used to. If I have one bad trade, it seems to follow me all week. I'm chasing to make money back and I make it worse. Okay, so that's taking last week's results and expecting the same thing this week in an entirely new market. And that's really what we're faced with almost every week is a market that looks different than the one that we traded before. And we have to adjust to that. Now, my question also would be, Were you trading, or have you were without revealing too much, like where did you fuck up on? Like, was it the ETFs, or individual stocks? I live in Arizona, only see one Lucid car per month. I guess poor sales and bad earnings, probably closer to one every 6 months. Yeah. I'm also just finding it myself because I've been doing this for 5 years. I should be in my prime now. I know the beginning I was taught wrong. I let that go. Listen, I've met people at their 5 year mark, and it really is about the information that you've retained and that you're utilizing, and whether or not it's working or not. And if you're still carrying what could be, perceived as not working, into what you're doing right now, then it still takes kind of a pause to, rewrite that blueprint in a way. So I mean, I'm like I said, I've had people come in here on the 4, 5, 6, even I had somebody come in here after trading for 10 years, and they're not. And so don't, what is it? Comparison is a thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to the expectation that at 5 years you should be in your prime. Not everybody hits their stride. And, when I started learning, like I rejected, like I already got defiance disorder. So it's like, I rejected a lot of what people would consider to be modern day, analysis and teaching and trends and indicators and stuff like that. And I just looked at the market itself, and built what I have now off of that, while peeling those indicators off one by one. So definitely take. But Mike, I really, and if you want to send me like the trades that you've taken, or what stocks you've taken those trades that didn't work on, reviewing the chart, boo, is really the most productive thing that you can do to kind of see, like, okay, because it basically makes it so that you have to be honest with yourself about what you've done wrong. So I would go pull those up. Where'd you fuck up? And identify that. I did not take a trade leading into empty space. I didn't wait for a candle close. Like, identify that whatever it is that you made a mistake on, because that's an opportunity to get better every single time you fuck up. If you, and this is, I found this to be true with life. Like, we have coping mechanisms and stuff, or we kind of just move on from the trade. And I'm not saying this is true for you, but if you just move on, or you try to avoid that like loss and just revenge trade, you're letting go of an opportunity to get better, to identify what you did wrong. But a lot of people let that opportunity go, and then they just move, just like in life, right? When we cope with something without actually fixing it, it always comes back around to kick us in the ass later on in some different form. And it's going to be the same thing with the stock market. If you don't, retain what it is that's stopping you, or not retain, but if you don't have a good idea of where you went wrong, then you don't have a good idea of how to fix that, or where you need to be not trading, or because last week things were fluid. Last week empty space was being filled. That's the momentum. And I said this last weekend, and I'm not saying that nobody listened or anything like that, and that there hasn't been opportunities this week as well, because there has been. But I said that especially on the ETFs, we should expect for price to slow down. And on the first open on Sunday, if you guys remember, on IWM and on SPY, and I think the only exception was the Qs, I said this is our first open in range after, our first open in range at the highs. And more than likely, price is going to consolidate, and that's going to make trading, not only on the ETFs, but the holdings inside of those ETFs, are going to likely have an issue, or it's going to be tougher to move, because you're going to be encapsulated in previous day trading range. And this is one of those weeks that, if you don't listen, there's levels to this shit, and you can afford to do more, right? Yeah. There's layers to this shit. And when you first start, less is more. It's not more is more. It's less is more. The you show up, you ride a wave, and right? And again, I'm here to help guide you. That while you might hear people in this Discord and at the open, you might hear them taking, oh, I'm in this, I'm in that. Those are opportunities for you to build a callus to FOMO. because you are going just to go ahead and say this, you're going to miss out. Okay. And by accepting that now, it'll make it that much easier to settle on what's in front of you and focus on that. You're going to miss out. You're also going to lose. But if you're focusing on this strategy and empty space and the way that waves, again, I'm using analogies, but like the market moves in waves, and especially with the ETFs, and this goes for any stock, even no matter how hard it rips. INTC, we'll be talking about it in a couple of weeks, more than likely, going or being in some sort of range, or had pulled back and bounced and in some sort of range. And it's good to know that, because that's what allows for you to detach and move on. Uh, yeah, I just saw that on the top of my screen. Let's go. Like, yapping right now. Hold on. What do you got on Nvidia? But like right now, par got halted again. That's fucking hilarious. I'll be real for the okay. Oof. So did you play earnings, Boo? And I really appreciate you being showing me this. This is where I can really help. It wasn't earnings. So what was your reasoning behind trading Tesla? No, 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 I'm talking to Boo. Who is right where? Oh, my Boo. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Just one is fucking A, dude. So I shit halfway just because I took one trade that I shouldn't have in the beginning of the week. Okay. So I mean, what was that trade, if you don't mind me asking? And while I'm watching the video here as well. Listen, an Astro, just okay, hold your feelings inside, okay, just for a moment for me. For anybody who is new, you could not convince me with a rusty barbed wire bat to trade Tesla. I'll take that hit. I'm not be and again, I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity in the near future, but if you are new, you need to be a dick. You need to be a highfalutin ass. This is not quite my tempo. Like, it has to be everything, folks. When I showed you guys this morning, right? That's my tempo, right? That's my tempo right there. That was a beautiful trade. Pop, pop, empty space, consolidation. It's got what we need, right? Nike. And I'm showing you these again because these happened last week, right? Punchback, empty space. And yes, it's empty space on Nike gets filled in sections. Like, this is more than likely going to be this is playing out exactly like as we talked about. Running up, moving into that 47, building a box underneath it. We talked about the channel that we were able to identify and the potential for it to punch down and fill the empty space underneath it. And by God, it has done that. And now we can wait for the next opportunity because it has more empty space. UPS, right? Same deal. And likely the same deal will be happening in the near future. I expect for UPS in one direction or another to move. It's up against resistance right now, and with the third rejection at the top, I'd probably lean a little bit more for a pullback retest. But again, UPS, consolidation, empty space, 50%, which is exactly where we're consolidating, I believe, right now. Hold on, let me see. It is fucking, and it's got earnings next week. So beautiful. I'm yapping, and Nvidia is just ripping, dude. Not bad. Chad, I got those for 5 cents, bro. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2 tens. Yeah. Yeah. Uh oh, my bad. Yeah, I was like, that's empty space right now. That's a gap. I'm up 300%. They're worth 21. Oh God, man. I have NVIDIA looking for the move it make it, and that makes it worse when it happens. I have NVIDIA yesterday looking for the move, and now it's and that's listen, but boo, that's a lower time frame setup for sure. So it means that it's I mean, if it didn't work yesterday, it's something that you'd be looking for, today. It's still opportunity on the table. Um, but going back to what I was saying to finish that thought. We're about to hit my target and gap fill right here on 206.84 for NVIDIA. I don't have, let me see if there's any more empty space here. Let me finish that thought and break right back into analysis. That's okay. I'm just trying to see if there's more empty space, room for this to run. 30-minute looks, or hourly looks like empty space. And the 30-minute does. If it can blow over 208.37, you could go and clear the overhead high to 210. So due to that fact, I'll leave some runners on the table. There's the gap right there. Jesus Christ. 480% on that trim right there. Whew. Jesus. Passed by, bounced pretty hard off of that cost basis. I'm watching oh shit. Yeah, I'm watching Netflix again, but it's sunk. I'm glad I stopped out of that. Um Boo, let me also ask you another question. How long have you been doing this with us, like this system? International paper? Only Dunder Mifflin here, Ellie. Yo, look at that rejection off the gap fill, guys. Oh my God. Oh no, no, it's good. It's good. I gotta weave in and out of black trading, so let's see here. Are you shorting this, Ellie? Paper's out. Um, it's definitely a slow mover, and it's been dumping here. I mean, I don't like shorting something when it's dumping. I typically like to get it out of a break of structure. Yeah, interesting. 5 minute candle on the cues there, popping out and then getting sucked right back into the area of consolidation. That's nuts. This is a pretty good landing pad at 33. I think that's where you're sitting at the moment. And then directly back up above you, and this is where you're wicking off of, which I guess if you're on the sell side of things, it's give you a little bit of confidence. But below the wick, yeah, I think you could probably sink into that 31.85. No, I haven't. I'm not touching the cues right now, but mostly if you go look at the 5 minute right now, I don't like do. I mean, I don't mind a break outside of that top, but you got that cost basis at 660, and then you can blow that top off. Ooh, I'm hungry. Holy shit! We just hit Nvidia. What is your name? What does that mean? No, not you. You said 208. Okay. Yeah, yours. Insane. Insane, bro. See, that's a great. Oh man, that big leg down. Oh man, what a great trade right there. There you go, Nvidia. Not looking at my P&L, but I'm gonna look right now because I want to. Because I, damn. Oh my god, 600%. It's real nice. It's all right, boo. I'm sorry. Oh, but let's see. I started last year, had to take a break, came back for the first year, but didn't start trading it. So, like, what about with this system? Like with the Potterbox system? You said that's when you started last year? Am I stopped out on Spy? No, I'm just hanging on to those, my boy. That's kind of just like a little gamble. Spy's building right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I had Netflix and Nvidia, so I was kind of like, if Spy's gonna flush down, I should probably have some sort of protection for that. When I started options, I got lucky and turned it into a lot, and then lost it. It got me into trading. Yeah, a lot of people beginning of last year did the workshop, all that, but had stuff to go on, so I had to step back. It might be good to do a refresher, especially with this new class, Boo. I think it would be really, really helpful. Oh, you already have? Oh, hell yeah. Okay. What happened? What'd you do? Yeah, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Triggers. Triggers. Come here. Come here. 26. Fucking bastard. Why do you gotta make the spread so wide? All right, I'll take it. Shot fired at Baidu. Stop loss is going to be at 124.38. Good alert. NVIDIA, new high. Yo, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, Baidu? Dude, I just got filled at 14 on 127s, and the fucking contracts just shot the fuck up. Sitting at 38 or 41. I stopped about 5 days ago. Now margin account. Oh my god, not the margin, dude. 25.66. The Qs are starting to trying to hold that high. I think Nvidia is saving face on that one. What were you saying, Jorge? My bad, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. Run it. I go live at like 6:30 my time, Eastern time, so uh yes. Yes. It's only 1 hour actually. Hold on. Yeah, that's 1 hour. Damn, bro, gotta be trip. Oh shit, I do. Yeah, that'd probably be fire. Dude, what the fuck is happening? Dude, Baidu contracts are fucking insane, guys. I bought these at 14. I mean, sorry I didn't say anything, but I pulled it up and got had to take the trade immediately. But dude, $14 fill, and these are sitting at the ask at $66 right now. Yes, MTC. All right, I'm trimming right here. I'm gonna see if I can sell at the limit here. Oh shit, dude! No! Sorry, that somebody. No, did you guys just? Nobody's watching this. Like the bid. No, the bid just shot up to the ask, bro, and just gave me a clean trim right there. No shit. Yo, who did that? Oh my god. Nah, it's runners from here. I'm gonna see if I could take this into like now we got structure, so I'm hoping we can get this up to 126.75. Good God, I'm not even looking at Nvidia right now. Dude, Chad. Everybody get Daddy Chad a kiss. Mwah. On his big soft lips. 860%, my boy. Let's go. It's all right. Nvidia. There's two of them. I'm gonna trim here to 1,000 fucking %, Chad. $5 to $60. We still ah, 357% on Baidu. Jesus Christ. What a fucking little scalp there. I talked about this one in pre-market, so I don't know if anybody had that one on their watch list. Santa. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord. That's empty space. That's empty space. Yeah, that thing is probably sweet. That thing has probably got. I would look at the short volume on that motherfucker. He's probably. I mean, I can't imagine they've got great earnings, but I mean, I can't imagine that they've. Yeah, I mean, maybe 75, 675. Oh my God. Thank you. Goddamn, boy. Ah! Yo, if you guys screenshot those gains on TikTok, throw them in the it like under in my comment section or something. I love that shit. It's my favorite. Netflix had me a little depresso this morning. I was like, damn, bro, come on. That was such a good little setup there. You just couldn't break that overhead high. Moved on to China, and China took care of me. And I don't know where Nvidia's from here, right? China, me and Xi Jinping, he pulled my ping, and now I'm sorry, I've got to stop. Now it's time to see 1500% on fucking Nvidia. Oh my God. Ah, yeah, boy. Bro, dead ass. I'm trimming it. Yes. No. Go ahead. Buy 127 Baidu strikes at 120. I'm gonna set the. I'm trying to raise the bid right now. I don't have it. Leave me when I say. Tap 127 right there on Baidu. I'm gonna leave some runners here to see if maybe if this is a little breakout. But that was fire. 730% on that little scalperino, little Chinese scalp. Catch me in Shanghai, baby. All right, Nvidia got a good. I got the China money virus. I used to have a couple. Do you ever get sick of being right? I'm not right all the time, guys. I don't get sick of being right about empty space. It just keeps telling. It just reminds me every time that there's no other option for me. That this is what I do until I'm unable. Like I stick to this. I don't give a shit about what anybody says about it. People make fun of me about empty space, bro. And look at how much fun that was. People make fun of Chad all the time, dude. And look what he just did. No, I'm just kidding. They don't do that. I'm just joking. Yeah, Chad's like, what? Trichrome World. What is empty space? I started 2 days ago. It's just air. I'll show you in just a moment, okay? Bear with me. If you guys are on TikTok, thanks for tapping your screen. Potter, I always sell early. It hurts. Stop that. Don't do that again. Ever. No, I was kidding. I'm just joking. Um, Plan. It all is based on your plan. Dude, unfuckable. Chad, after that fucking Nvidia play, dude, I'm gonna come surf with you. Same surfboard too. Same surfboard though. Hold my waist. Jesus Christ. Stop the soundboards. I really do like this one. If it can clear that 767, you're in a great space above 747. You know, the goal here is just to eliminate the possibility of any sort of lower highs, which could happen just in this space right here. So getting a candle close on the hourly, I think secures your empty space potentially to the upside. So the hell do they even do? Energy stuff, I imagine. How do you find these? We do. Me and Baidu go back long time. Potter, do you like Up Dog? What do you think I am, 12? No, I don't. It makes me angry. Please. I've been, you know, like when you go to the beach and there's like flags that say like there's a rip current or there's like dangerous jellyfish or both rip currents with dangerous jellyfish in them, and there's a hurricane coming, and there's always just like a couple people who are like trying to fucking surf, you know what I mean, or like he's different. He's built for this. Um, but for the majority of citizens, this is the hardest. And I said this yesterday, and I'm saying it again today. After earnings, you know what their goal? You know what the guys? It's free money. It's free money for institutions to collect premium on the jacked up contracts from earnings. Pop it down, pop it back up, pop it back down, pop it back up. What are you doing? That's called max pain. That's exactly right. Max pain is what it is where we are. And from max pain a move shall come. But oh, now that oh, put this jam on. Yeah. Panda, what were you saying? Our car? Ha! Ha! Sylvania! It bounced on the fucking. Let me just take out a fucking loan for these contracts. I mean, dude, with these type of things, you could, it's not always so far fetched to be when they've ripped that hard. It's like, dude, at some point, even the puts, like you could be going up to what the fuck? Yeah, I got you. Don't bust in my door like that. You are the police. Look at me like that. Why did Carr do this? It's a short squeeze, my friend. It's just like GameStop. It's actually bigger than GameStop. I'll be done in just a second. Car, Avis. Oh, Nvidia is trying to go and get us another new high here. Baidu is doing what I thought it was going to do here. So I don't know if anybody get, but it does have kind of an inverse head and shoulders. I might look to take some of the money I just made on it if we get up to 128. If we get up to 128, I might swing it up to 131. This is actually a terrible setup, but the inverse head and shoulders looks good. We'll see. I'm always trying to guess who you're talking to. Look at it. There's no boxes. There's no empty space. I mean, there's empty space in these like pockets right here. But yeah. Oh, speaking of, ugh, oh, I'm glad I got out of that. Well, I really didn't. I want to say I got out. Yeah, it's worth a shot. I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again. It's not now. Nike. I want this thing to go sideways, just like I have drawn out here. That's what I want. Oh my god. Chad, I still have 20 contracts of Nvidia that I bought for $5. Bro, they are selling for well, they're about 85 bucks right now. That's 1500% right there. It if the, it just ticked up to 17. Yo, 1800%. I mean, that's still fucking that's fire, dude. Wait, how'd you know that? Yes, I was. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Oh my yeah. It's nuts, dude. I love these trades where you can buy in the morning or a few cents, then boom, 1000%. That's it. I don't have the expiration for that unless I want to get exercised. Holy fuck, Chad. Fucking A, Chad. Oh, I can just close my eyes and yeah, dude. I close my eyes, dude, and I just see me on the front of your surfboard, right on the front of it, feet forward, arms out. Oh, oh my god. I get lost in the sauce sometimes. That's 2000% on fucking the video right there, y'all. Oh my god. Shit. Damn. I had to hit the withdrawal button on this motherfucker. Uh, yeah, you're damn right. Yeah, I did. I I did, dude. That shit is fucking beautiful. It's sort of sad that Nvidia is going to be in the all-time high zone or the no-touch zone. I mean, you can touch it. I mean, Nvidia, dude. Listen, Nvidia is the only one, surprisingly, right, that hasn't gone. And I mean, it's spent a fuck ton of time sideways like this. But I mean, this one has the capability to, AMD or to MU. Yeah, it's going to be worth like multiple nations worth of fucking. Remember, the whole world invests in this market, so like it's big money. I'm trying not to watch my P&L right now, dude, but that shit is flashing in my corner of my eye. Chadwick, dude. Stop. It looks so good. Even I struggle with that shit sometimes when we get up in here, bro. The 2000 Rose, Rose that's fucking. Yo, I mean, yeah, we're here. What's up? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Chad swung it. I caught it. Basically, he mentioned it. It was I literally I literally took it outside of the break of range as well, dude. Yeah. So 1040 is the exact candle that I got in at, which is right there. Like right at the literally the 4 seconds into that. So like right here, I got in and then it popped off immediately, and then I switched over and looked away for 2 seconds and got into BYND or not BYND. What the fuck am I talking about? Um, BYND, BIDU, and caught that one for a scalp. I talked about that one this morning. But yeah, that the video was just and Chad brought it up. You know, we I had talked about this one yesterday having a box over to our left, but that actually Golfman brought this up. Golfman was talking about it, and I was like, and then I looked at the lower time frame, and I could see that it had that gap fill up to 206.70. So I actually was like, yeah, that would be off that break, that would be a good trade. And it didn't go yesterday. I didn't take it. I think maybe Chad caught it on the bounce yesterday. Oh my God, Chad. Um, oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I get in this question. Did I sell the 702s on SPY? I grabbed $266 worth of SPY puts while I was in upside positions on other stocks where there was more money involved. So no, I did not sell them. I just focused on what was ripping to the upside because that I just looked at that as a hedge. I think I made that clear, but yeah, it's insurance policy. I mean, when I pay my insurance, I sure as fuck can't ask for that insurance back, you know. So if I lose it, I don't put money into stuff like that I see the potential of us, okay, we're sitting at cost basis. I've got a lot of things that I'm looking at to the upside. And I did that kind of more or less focus on Netflix, but I ended up stopping out of Netflix anyway and focusing on Nvidia and BIDU, Baidu. Yeah, that's beautiful logic. Eh, I mean, and and you can obviously make a good amount. Obviously, this is a perfect example of it. These contracts, again, cost $5 a fucking piece, and we're just selling for close to 100. So, but yeah, this that's really really solid logic, and logic that anybody in here can take with you. If you see something like, okay, AMD, MU, TSM, everything is ripped, and you find one semiconductor, that's actually, I think, the reason that we targeted AMSC. The contracts just really sucked on them. But we targeted that setup for the same reason. It had dumped super duper hard and had this 24-hour consolidation, which threw us for a loop because we took it to the upside. It rejected that overhead, came back down, basically to the floor, and then reasserted itself through another box or breakout over 35, and I missed it. So it was a good trade, though. I I mean, I'm right here, so yeah, Roger. Yeah, yeah. So like I mean I took 2 tens because they were dirt fucking cheap, and I know that Nvidia ripping up quickly, which it appeared that it was taking a strong a strong close over um, that overhead resistance leading into that gap. I know that when we hit 206, I'm just a couple strikes out of the money, meaning that my contracts are being purchased at that point, and I'll play things that are, if I'm going to play a weekly, I like to make it low risk, or I like to try to find a premium strike price agreement, where I can see that, like, okay, maybe I'll be within two strike by BIDU. I just say BIDU. What the fuck am I talking about? But with this one, I took 127s. Again, target based strike. I literally looked at 127s. They were cheap. I looked at 126s first, but yeah, I caught that one up, hit that 127 empty space, and was done with the trade. This was a punchback through this box right here, and overhead 124.56. You said Baidu is the leader for China. Neo is next. Actually, funny enough, before I saw Baidu, I saw Neo, and I saw it on the hourly, and I saw it pop up to that cost basis, but I don't really day trade Neo like that. It's just not a great day trading stock. But Raymond, that's mad funny. He said Alex trade type of gains. Yeah, man, I'll line you up, dude. Okay. Mm. So you're in an area where you obviously are going to have to be aware of the potential of a pullback, right? Just being real about it, because it is and has filled that empty space. There is more, and that's what I think keeps this trade potentially alive. And you said May 1st, correct? Oh, end of May, end of May. Okay. I mean, that's a good look, I guess. To be honest with you, it is possible to, and this is my strongest bullish case, is to stay here, because that would allow for you to just kind of continue trending up. Um, and I think looking at PayPal on the lower time frame, there's evidence for a potential reversal, at least back, right here there's empty space, right here there's empty space. And so you're looking at, I mean, right now you could be looking at over $50 to try and get that punchback and start moving in the right direction. But ultimately, $49, I think, is going to spell you will start pulling back at that point. With that empty space right here in this 15-minute candle, you're you're looking at a pretty strong probability for downside. So if that's, makes sense as an exit point, depending on where you got in, that would be where you can start to either A, trade against it, or B, just get out and look for a re-entry, because it might be one of those things with PayPal. It could be one of those things where you do build, but end up dropping back down to 46, and then you repeat that cycle and push back up. And I mean, it looks, a lot of the times when I, draw this out, you can kind of see the timeline of getting to that 56. So it could be in June that we see PayPal finish that move. So we can look at obviously what's in front of us. I think there's still room to deliberate and read and react, but you're very close to those triggers that could send this moving back down. So that is also true. Man, yeah, please. People also say it's a little bit less intimidating. I don't know why in the world people are would be intimidated by me, but some are nervous to talk, but this is so safe. But he went to Germany, dude. It changed him. He's got that Schlugen in him. Uh, well, I, there. I mean, yeah, somebody is always there, and listen, I want to just say this right now. I have made it so that some people can use the at everybody tag. And, for those of you who are new and getting a lot of alerts, you can click on each channel and you can actually turn the alerts off and make sure that you're only getting the alerts that are at everybody. This is important to do. But seriously, I, from a bird's eye perspective, because I try not to hop in the study room too much and fuck up the vibes, but, occasionally I'll pop in there here and there. But I've watched so many people. Like, obviously, I give you the blueprint, I give you the guardrails, the material, the tools, but putting it together with your peers is a lot different. And a lot, I think, takes we're not live in the market, but it's just a pure learning space. And people have fun in there. So, don't listen. I wouldn't have your kids around, because things, people have fun, clip, but that's a part of it. But that the study room inside of this Discord, I think, is got to be one of the best learning spaces because it is absolutely insane how quickly people will go from asking me the basic questions about the box to pulling up their own really solid charts. I mean, Philo is a great example of that. He's somebody who hopped in there and, or obviously Neil or Junior, a lot of these people spend a great deal of time with their peers. Because again, it just, I don't know what it is about, me, but it's like, I can obviously answer people's questions, but a lot of people are just scared to ask these questions. And so if it takes it away, or makes people feel a little bit more comfortable, you're working with people who are also have the same goal as you to get better. You know what I mean? Um, so how do you get in the study room? The Discord, you got to join that's if you're inside of my main Discord. That could be true, yeah. Yeah, it just feels intimidating. As long as you're not interrupting me. Yeah, as long as you're not interrupting me, like, or cutting me off mid-thought, like you're good. I want people to ask those questions, and that's, I mean, straight up, dude. This is, and I hate it because it's always so cliche, but it's like closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't open your mouth and speak, you're not going to know. And what a foolish thing to have done, to just have missed out on the opportunity to let such a what could be such a simple question, right? And I feel like I'm pretty good at explaining things, or if I'm not, they are. But to let a yeah, all right, ban them. If you're trying to get in it through the website, the workshop is the most important thing that I have, and then the 6 month one. The right now, if you get the regular one, it has 2 extra months with it. But anyway, if you let an opportunity or a bad this is a space, not just to talk about the good trades, but to talk about the bad ones, to talk about what went wrong, to talk about what you can do in the future, where why this wasn't a good setup, and these are the important building blocks of moving forward. But again, I'm just going to say it, every single person that I see get in that study room gets better. and it takes time. Everybody has their own timeline, but people get better. But also just the people who speak up. If you notice that the people that come into this Discord and within a couple of weeks, like they've kind of shaken off the nerves, I can see a difference in their charts. I can see a difference in what they pull up as like, hey, will you look at this chart? And I'm like, okay, damn, that looks good. And that's the type of environment that this is. I'm fostering that type of environment where you can come in the moment or after the moment, reflect and review or ask questions on what went wrong or what went right, or maybe we're looking at it in the future, like where would this look good? Do I have my box right? All of these things are opportunities for you to get better. And if you're not going to talk, you should definitely type. And again, I get that it's nerve wracking, but all of these people have, most of these people do not even have their real names. I mean, but some of the names, I mean, we've got fucking Captain. Yeah, his baby Tess. Oh my, what this sounds like therapy now. Oh yeah, dude, I love it. Damn, hell yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. He said on my way right now. Yeah, dude, he's eating there every day. No, dude, and your English is honestly my favorite English. I love that. Um, but yeah, dude, this Discord is it's every year, man. And I know some of you guys have been long enough to see it. But this was the goal when I started the first workshop, is for this to get better every single year, for the beehive to, grow in strength. And dude, it's like now I, you know, I know not everybody is on the same page, and it sometimes when you join, it feels like these people are light years ahead of you. Like just put your head down and put in the work, and you're gonna look back in a month. You're gonna look back in a couple of months, and that's gonna be a stranger staring back at you, because honestly, as long as you show up and as long as you ask questions and you open your mouth, no matter what, and as you can see, like there are people from everywhere, from all sorts of walks of lives, different accents, different everything, religions. And this space is honestly, I'm probably proud of that. Some of the the most is like, this, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you believe. People have found a space in here to help each other literally fucking make money, and that's you know beautiful. But it's also an environment that's not worth being quiet in. If you're thinking about joining here on TikTok, like don't come if you think get over the nerves. It'll be all right. Nobody's gonna bite you. Jose might bite you, but just keep your toes in your shoes. You'll be all right. That's fucking. Jorge's. That's fucking hilarious. Uh, dude, I was just watching that, but I looked away because I don't want it to. I just retyped it in. Um, I mean, it left enough empty space behind to maybe flip this mother, but I mean, I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt about it because it's still a good opportunity if, and this is the big if again, and you know what? It's actually fucking hilarious. Is I was just looking over here as we were ripping out, and I was like, I hope we don't do some shit like that. And fucking sure as shit, we hit. It's a, you know, it's not like we did here. We hit a floor here. We hit the ceiling, and fucking same shit. But it doesn't mean the trade is obviously over. You just end up ripping out into that empty space later on. So yeah, I'm watching this one close eye. I mean, this is a fucking beautiful channel. It's got the potential to break that lower time frame downtrend and fire up into this box here, which could make for a really that could be a nice speculative day swing trade up to 97. So I want to learn what y'all do. Oh my fucking god! I'm all right. I'm gonna look. Oh, I lost a little bit of money on IV. Now I'm only now I'm only up fucking 1900%, Chad. What the fuck? Yeah, it gets awkward, dude. Go crack a beer, unless you're an alcoholic or something like that, and you know, just do what you got to do. Get on stage. Fuck it, life's short. Listen, if it makes you if it makes you feel better, you know, I'll tell this story again. Um, you know, I've lived out my worst possible nightmare on live stream. Like what? Oh, he left his mic on. Like, oh no, I've left my stream up a couple of times. That's you know can be awkward or weird. You know, if I'm talking about some weird shit. But I left my Bluetooth headphones on while I was streaming from my phone, thinking that everybody was listening to Manny talk about his pre-market plan. And so I went to the bathroom with my phone to go watch this said stream and listen to what Manny had to say. And I was like, it's interesting. I don't really hear anybody. And then I'm looking at the comments and I see, oh man, he's pushing. And I fucking could have, I could have flushed myself down the toilet. If I could have, I would be currently in Savannah's plumbing right now. Um, so, you know, again, even what's the worst that could fucking happen? You know, make sure you mute your mic and you'll be all right because yeah, bubble bath. All this lying's got me sore and tired. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He had to take an Epsom bath. Well, he did get hit by a car, so that might have been why. Wait, what? Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, the worst part about it, the worst part about it was like I like immediately went into like problem solving mode. I was like, oh man, this box is so heavy. Like trying to make it seem like I was lifting something. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. When I was driving, yeah, I had some road rage. And I had some road rage. I was yelling at grandmas. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not as everything that I teach you guys and even maintain myself out the window when I'm in the car. I'm like, what the fuck? Right. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. As long as, yeah, I mean, the whip is, you know, semi self-driving, so no, the the I'm just gonna robo taxi, you know? There you go. Look at Wait a second. Does anybody want to buy this? Here, somebody screenshot that and put it in the Discord. Look at this. Going for the low. Astro, you want it? It's a cord. It's got a port. It's a Tesla. Wait, what? Wait, where did Caesar say? Oh, damn! I was like, nobody's talking in the chat, and then oh my fucking god, that's a mess. Yo, Caesar, I need that. I need that. I need my hands around his waist so I don't fall off. I said, oh man, yeah, yo, that's fucking hilarious. Like, nah, you're not gonna make this surf. This is amazing, dude. Chad, look at us. You got a surfboard big enough for both of us? Let's recreate that. Hey, yo. What? What? Surfing time on Chad. Apples in space. You're in space. Oh shit. Oh, I'm still holding those. Oh shit. Hold on. I got burned my feet on those. I had some runners on that one. Uh, can I look at snow? Oh shit, snow. Yeah, snow's out there. You're all I see is a 3-minute floor here, which could, I guess, help you get in if you're looking to get in. But that floor needs to be reclaimed. That range needs to be cleared. So, damn, what the fuck happened there? That's what, yo, that's fucking diabolical. Fucking diabolical. Careful on that one. You leaving? No, I don't believe you. He's leaving, dude. He's abandoning us now. Real quick, if you guys are on TikTok, I am giving away 2 months if you get the workshop. So if you've been waiting to learn with us and want to spend some time in the Discord as well, it comes with 2 months in the Discord. But I'm gonna hop off here, so you guys are more than welcome to come and hang out, learn the strat, and start this next week with us. But otherwise, I'm out. I'll see you guys at 2:30. Still looking at Spy? Yeah, I'm still looking at Spy, but not like for a day trade right now. There's some empty space underneath us, but Peace out, y'all. How much to spend some time with you? Oh my god. Dude, I was just thinking about hopping on that thing, dude. Shoot me a text. Sorry, I've been in the hole of XM. It's probably about to go back into a consolidation phase now, man. Expansion's been made. All right. I'll see you guys in a little bit, all right? You'll take care. I feel I don't know much. I learn. Yeah, stick around, Trichrome. Stick around. Celsius is looking great. Did you guys see Celsius? Is anybody are you guys in? Anybody in Celsius? Cool. Yeah, same. Yo, Neil. What the fuck? What is happening? Oh, it's pop. Oh, dude, wait, hold on. No way. 279. 279. 279 right here is where is that overhead target. If we bust over this, I think we might. Okay, hold on one second because I knew they were gonna fuck IW. No way, dude. My calls that I swung speculatively are fucking barely of a green, but they're green. I swung 277 calls. They're up fucking 38%. They should be up way more than I have 279s, and they're down 12% now. So if you took that on the lower time frame, there's actually a nice little like look at that fucking 2 minute, 3 minute box. Holy shit. Good crunch. All right. Nice. I rubbed it. BB's balls. I'm sorry. Hey, I hope they didn't.